Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We're playing in the US League as a Volatile Dead Inquisitor, and today we're gonna run the Merciless Labyrinth. Level 70 now. Next episode we're gonna go for Kitava in Act 10. But for now, before we get the resistance penalty, I'd like to deal with Izaro, or as I said in the previous episode in context of Kitava, or die trying. First up, a golden door, which needs a golden key. So monsters here are one level higher than in the reliquary. Same level as first tier maps. So just go through, kill the monsters I encounter. Let's not be too reckless about this, because this is not as underleveled as most of the content I've been playing through for the last bunch of episodes. Okay, and indoors. Okay, golden doors, that usually means that the next thing to the left is the way forward where the key lies. At least that's the pattern that has been there for as long as I've been able to spot the pattern at least. Okay, this one freezes me when activated. This is one of the reasons why you keep a flask with freeze removal. And it detonates nearby corpses. So let's just warm this up a little bit and then run. And then do some more exploding. So contrary to the revival one, this one also seems to explode the corpses after it's up. So no, be careful. Don't want to die in a flurry of exploded corpses because you didn't realize that. It's gonna be the same later on once we run into some beyond demons in maps. If we manage to get one of the greater demons up, Bamef is infamous for using Val Detonate Dead to explode all the corpses. So really, you wanna make a habit out of just casting the corpses not on top of yourself, but as far away as you can, in situations where that could be relevant. Normally, though, you don't encounter demons from beyond, so no, there's some comfort in that. Okay. Hey. Oh, of course, they changed the mechanics. Oh. I forgot about that. They forgot the mechanics of how the golden keys work. It's no longer in the side room, it's now actually in the dungeon itself. That used to be different. Oh. Come on, yes. There's the golden key. And then this is the way out. Okay, well, pass one, then nearly walk into the other. Actually, I did walk into the other. Keys can and will mess you up. Or doors, not keys. Doors do it. So be careful. But so far, so good. And so this is the bottom one, the other one would be the top one. I don't really care. And it still does the same thing, because of course that it does. And another map, that is also pretty nice. Let's not get skewered a little too much here. No, I fully accept that I will get skewered in the lab. That's kind of my thing. And within regen, that's perfectly fine. And there's the first trial. Marvelous. Let's see. And what kind of mood Izaro is today. Might as well just stash that one away. See, pretty decent for some reason. Lockouts are not dropping as much as the others, but well, RNG is what RNG does. What's the first? Statues, okay. Conduits of Frost. Need to keep him down. Okay. Notice off. He hurts like a truck. This is no longer a warm-up mode for the trials. Conjure the flames. Okay, they're all up now. Good, good. Little decoy, bunch of corpses. Put those up. And then need to do another slightly. One, touch it. Okay, a little window again to do the fighting. Okay, they're up again. Let's do the full circle here. Crap. Ow. Yeah. Ow. He was aiming to where I was. That was not a good thing. It's a pretty stark contrast with the first time through. What ambition? Okay. Not entirely sure how I am. Oh, there's 2 up, 1 down. This is a partial success. Okay, let's continue this. To a certain extent, Labyrinth is comparable to Verici missions. You can't always simply focus on killing him as fast as you can, because you have other objectives inside of the fight besides killing him, and that there's no managing to touch all the things to disable a mechanic or interact with it in some other way. I think I'll just leave that one up for a little bit since the other stuff is up. So no, you're just running through the arena instead of focusing on just fighting him. So you're partially distracted and under a bit of time pressure. And on the one hand, you want to keep the mechanics down as much as possible. So that's almost like that random moment when you actually manage to trigger him to the certain amount of life. No, it's 1/3 down, but there's no clear marker there. Hey, there's actually stuff there. But no, at some point he's gonna decide, okay, this is enough. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you again next fight. So you need to make sure that at that exact time your quest objectives are in order, because otherwise you're stuffed. As clearly I was. I slightly mistimed that, and that's the timers got out of sync. question is that the way forward, or is that just a side objective? I suspect now that this one is not the way forward, that it is indeed it. So, let's try. One switch. Oh, that opens the door. Marvelous. And that one has a one on the other side. Luckily it's not a timered one. Oh. And another one. I think technically I probably didn't need to hit the last one, since it was only for the for closing the door I just came through. But again, no, the rule of thumb seems to hold true. Always try to head north. To the top and to the right. Also, you are large enough that I prefer not to have you try to hit me over the head. That's gonna give me a massive headache. Yeah, as I said. Big skeletons hurt. And there's only one way forward, so that is nice. And as I said, there's two ways out here. And maybe a reliquary to run into, but if not, then that's fine as well. Can't teleport through the door. That is unfortunate. Okay, you look like you want to have a volcano underneath your feet. That's the undead. No, they just want to be warm. I gotta help them a little bit. No, they already have so much to suffer. And the decorative chests with sands of eternity. Idols no longer regenerate life. Okay, so for the final trick, he's gonna try to absorb the idols. And is that a ghost-possessed necromancer? No, it's just the ghost, not the necromancer. Hey. And underneath all of that, there's traps that are blocking my line of sight. Wonderful. But an exit was found nonetheless. And it walks us into an aspirant's trial. That's even better. So, Conduit of Frost. He deals extra cold damage. He's got a freeze chance and he takes reduced cold damage. So it is good that only this one got absorbed and not the fire one, since that would have counteracted my dealing of pure fire damage to quite an extent. Okay. Second one. Okay, let's just try to not be where he is. Gee, sweet. As I said, he is rather dangerous. Especially doesn't help if you're focused on other objectives. Because otherwise you have him in the final fight and he's not gonna be powerful there. So, yeah, it's interesting. And all you can do is just discharge those things. And there's no way to disable them. I think it's a good thing that the fire one is the one that is just not recharging, so that one is not in effect. otherwise, I think I just need to focus on him rather than on the objective, since I'm just not capable of juggling the multitasking. It's a good thing now, this is a large open area, so at least you can just shield charge around for a bit. Okay, that was that. Final one is gonna be fun. Final one is gonna be fun. He's gonna be boosted much more than I would prefer. If I would have been smart enough to look at PoELab.com, I probably would have seen this combination of mods and maybe I would have decided against it, but well. Today is the day where I really felt like sitting down and just wrapping up the whole campaign. No? Merciless Lab be damned. So I'll just have to do it with a little bit more of a challenge than normal, than I would have chosen for. Oh, normally if you get the gateways, those are perfectly fine. The minion summoning gateways, they're pretty easy to beat. And the one where you have to manage the charges on him, that's also a pretty nice one. But all this stuff with the recharging and such, blah, not my thing. Okay. We'll just have to see if this is leading me forward or if this is just something like a very elaborate reward scheme. Well, we'll see. I'll just make sure to not go for a death by Roomba. And then everything is fine. There's a curious lockbox. Might actually hold something precious. Okay, those are a bit larger than I would be comfortable tanking, but there's that, the door's open. And we have a treasure. Also, you are too large. Going this way did reveal though that there is a way there. And apparently there's something on the other side of the wall, because those volatile orbs were really eager to go through the wall. Which is a little odd. Okay, a silver cache. And then, of course, I'm gonna simply go north, ignore all of the side areas, things like that, and make my way to the final trial, to the actual fight, where you can just focus on the guy. No side objectives, no nothing. Puzzle time, Labyrinth Trove. Okay, I'm here, might as well try, but is this just a matter of just timing it? Okay, it's just a timer, nice. And a bunch of jewelry stuff comes out. And slightly getting body blocked there. Okay, the journey continues. At least the Merciless Lab and to a certain extent the Eternal Lab are in the once you get to maps. Oh, those are the more challenging maps. They're not as simple as the normal and cruel labs. No, normal and cruel are very efficient, very quick to get through. But no, the difficulty of those fights did get toned down quite a bit since they were introduced long time ago. Was it Apprentice League? I think it was Apprentice League. Played my, that's also with Ascendancy, wasn't it? Yeah, because I played a Juggernaut then. Let's see, Frost Idol. Cast Ice Beacons when I have full life, loses all life on cast, regenerates life, can't be damaged. And lightning, so neat, no fire. This is a very, very fireless fight. I'll be providing all the fire. So let's do this. Let's take down Azaro or die trying. Okay. Okay. Now you move. Every once in a while I'll just put down some corpses. And then when I have the opportunity, I'll just try to cast a bunch of orbs. Getting some cremates out to deal with the other Muppets is useful though, so then the orbs don't get wasted. But I did persevere. The Emperor is dead. Long live the Empire, I guess? I don't know. I don't think becoming Emperor is the reward for surviving the trial anymore. The other hand, ascending is kind of neat as well. So we have 2 keys. Ah, okay, cool. Spine something. Spine of the first claimant. Mental damage, first damage, increased damage with hit against frozen enemies, chance to freeze, increased cold damage, cast speed. So would be useful if this were a fire version, but I'm not a frost mage, so this is not really gonna help me. Let's get a bunch of old school non-bestials. And oh, let's upgrade the boots. 6% chance to dodge spells if you've taken spell damage recently. Okay, that's better than nothing. Helmets, nope, there's like 400 different helmet enchantments and only 3 or 4 are useful for every build. So most of the time they're just not worth it if you're not doing it for the trade opportunities. Ascending though, that is useful. So in the theory craft I talked about the various options. We're not going to go crits, so the Righteous Providence Inevitable Judgment route is just not going to be useful. Then you got Instruments of Virtue and you got Augury of Penitence. Augury is pretty neat. Enemies take increased damage, so that's a more damage multiplier effectively. And enemies deal less elemental damage. That's also kind of neat against enemies that get too close that deal elemental damage. Think ahead of, for example, to maps that have added elemental damage. That's kind of ubiquitous. So if the enemies get up close, they deal less damage. So there's a safety aspect there. On the other hand, increased spell damage. If you cast a spell recently, that's kind of a no-brainer. We got that because we're casting spells. Increased attack damage if you cast a spell recently. Well, the only attack we have is, of course, Shield Charge. And we're not using it for the damage. All we're doing it is to grant Fortify. But the thing is, by picking up a movement attack skill, if we use it, then the other 2 lines become in effect. 20% increased attack speed if you've attacked recently. So using Shield Charge makes the next Shield Charge faster. But also after having used Shield Charge, then we have a 30% increased cast speed bonus. That is going to be nice for casting those Volatile Dead much more quickly. And the road there increases elemental damage and attack and cast speed by itself. So that's kind of neat. So this is the first one, and then after that it gets better. And then if you wait 4 seconds, it goes down. So it was 0.32 cast time, and now it is 0.4. So you go from 2.5 to 3 per second, which is Kind of neat. And that concludes this run of Merciless Laboratory. We have ascended a third time. Fourth time is gonna take a long time, if not ever. I think previously it took me 22 trials to get the 6th unique trial unlocked, so I could actually do the Eternal Lab. On the other hand, no, you really do want to level up, gear up, all that stuff before trying that, because it's tougher than others. I think it's level 75 area. So anyway, next episode, I'm gonna pick up the Staff of Purity and then go after Kitava. So that's gonna be then. So for now, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.